scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it,
That is
dude.
good.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan there,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
You're watching the bedroom live on Switch. You're the bedroom. You're watching the bedroom live on Switch. Yeah.
Hey?
Hey,
I don't know.
that was
How's it
weird. We were not there.
No, we left everybody in suspended animation.
Now we're here. How's life?
Everything is okie dokie.
That's
I love life. Life
That's-
loves me.
well. Second part's questionable.
What?
First part is not much of an alternative. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. There's a big alternative.
Hating life.
Bro,
Yeah.
all right. How are you doing?
Doing well. Been busy,
Yeah, you have.
working, gambling. You know how it is.
Yeah, you skipped out last week because you were working.
Yeah, I had the meetings last week. Christmas gets
And,
crazy for.
But everything's
Yeah.
going good with the meetings?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ah, good job, bro.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Still crushing.
Yeah. Yep, mostly.
Still crushing at the jobby job.
Oh, that little gray spot right there. It's crazy. But yeah. You're still doing the jobby job. As long as I have to. Crushing it.
You're just crushing it. You're not doing it. You're just crushing it.
Crushing it.
Crushing at the jobby job. Well, that's awesome, dude. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So couple things. Did you read the title of this one? This episode?
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
All right. So, topic number 1.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Playing ball, man. They're playing ball.
Playing pretty good.
The next 10 days, man, they're coming up, man. Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday. In that order.
Oof.
Because we play this coming Sunday against Philadelphia. They're 11-2.
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. They're one game better than us.
Oof.
The next Saturday, we play Baltimore, who's the big rival game. It's always a hard-hitting, tough game, always.
But we beat them earlier this season.
Yes. If we beat them again, we pretty much lock up the division. Yeah, we pretty much lock up our division. And then on Christmas Day, we play the Chiefs, who have only lost one game this year.
Yeah, but they've had a lot of close calls.
They're 12-1, and 10 of those wins have been single score wins, 1-score wins. It's unheard of in the NFL. Nobody wins that many close games.
And it's just, it seems to be just driven off of Patrick Mahomes' pure determination and will.
Yeah, and they do have a hell of a defense. They do have a hell of a defense.
Okay.
They have a hell of a defense. They've been kind of driven by their defense all year. You just don't want to give Mahomes the ball at the end of the game. You just don't want to let him, because.
But he's the quarterback. He's always going to get the ball. So what do you mean? Just try to wear out the clock?
You want to try? No, I mean you want to either want to have enough of a lead that it doesn't matter if they have the ball with 47 seconds left. They need to score twice. Or you want to have the ball with a slight lead, and then you just try to get first downs and run out the clock. You don't want him with the ball in a one-score game. Hey, Karen, sippy sip. Sippy sip, Karen. Karen, sippy sip. Sippy sip, Karen.
Yeah, the guy's a beast.
Yeah, he's not. I don't like him. I don't like him because he doesn't play for my team.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Hans. So, Beebs.
Mm-hmm.
You drinking? Indians? Me. Indians.
It's a bourbon called Malam and Green Triple Cask Bourbon.
Okay.
It's
How'd you
three
come
different.
about
Yeah, it's three different. It's a blended bourbon.
Mhm.
They got a bourbon that's distilled in Texas, one from Kentucky, and then one from Tennessee. And they brew them each individually, then they get them together, wind up mixing them together, and you get this Malam and Green Triple Cask Bourbon, which is, I did not think, but it is delicious. Delicious. It's
Wow.
creamy. It's creamy. You definitely get you always hear people saying, "Oh, vanilla,"
Right.
but you definitely get some vanilla smell, vanilla taste, and it's creamy. Like when you drink it, there's times I held it in my mouth and I was like, "Oh man, that's creamy." That's like a rich, thick cream right there. That's crazy.
Mm.
It's really good though, really, really good, and shockingly affordable. It's only $33 for a
Wow.
bottle.
That's great.
Yeah, really good. But it's part of the advent calendar that Dave and I do
Ah.
each year, yeah. Well, this is the second year that we've done it.
And what's the deal? You sign up for? Is this mail to you or?
Yeah, you get a big old box. It's like it comes in a big old
Right.
box.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and there's 2 whiskey glasses in it. There's a tasting book that gives you tips on the whiskey for your own notes, and then there's 24 separate bottles that are in the box, and you break open one each day and taste it. So we're 11 days in now. It's our 11th one, and it goes
That's
from
awesome.
now. It goes from now to December 24th, and really good, man. It's really, really good. Plus, you get a year-long Flaviar membership.
What
Which
kind of
gives
membership?
Flaviar. It's a website called Flaviar, FLAVIAR.
And that's who this is. Who does this? Is that who?
Yeah,
this
they
is?
do the whiskey club, but they also have year-round whiskey that you can order. Like they give you deals on different whiskeys, and really good deals. So, you can get some really good deals, but they have all, and then they have some super high-end stuff that is not in my price range right now, but that you could still order if you so wanted to. Yeah, but
Nice.
they've got scotches that are like $1,200 a bottle. Like they've got crazy rare scotches.
So I think I just got it pulled up here. What are the how big are the taste? Oh, they send you two little things of each, like two little bottles.
They send you 50 milliliters.
This one.
The whiskey advent. That looks like that's it. That's not what the price was, though. No, that's not it. That's some other company.
That's
Right.
Cask.
Oh, What's right next to it? You see the Flaviar? Hotel Flaviar. Yeah, what's that? What is that all about? Is that just the box or something? What is they?
2 collectible glasses, 24 15 milliliter glass vial whiskey samples.
Where is that at though? What is that?
Hotel, I don't know. It's Hotel Flav. Wait,
It says
wait, hold on. I see what's happening. I'm not sharing the right screen. Let me see. Let me stop this share. Let me share this instead. Here we go. That's a much better price. Can't
but
beat that, right?
no. That's there's some kind of trickeryness to that. What's that say? Is available for pre-order. Why is that in red? That 24.
I highlighted it.
Oh, you highlighted. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe this is old or
No,
something.
that looks like that's this year's, but I don't see how that would be possible. I don't see how they could do that.
Maybe because it's already into the calendar.
Still, even then, I don't see how that would be possible.
Because of the price?
Yeah, I mean that's 24 50 milliliters. That's more than one full bottle of whiskey, and these are higher whiskeys. What website is that? Is that a legitimate website?
Yeah,
Are they
it
trying to
looks
rob
like-
you? Are they robbing you?
I don't know. Maybe. Upland, California, Nabiet.com. Maybe they just bought. I think it's just because it's already into the calendar or something. Is this what this looks like it?
Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah.
So there's your little bottles. It won't let me zoom in on it, but because here's another one.
That's more expensive.
That's 2023 for 600.
We had it in 2023, and it wasn't that much.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Here's another one. This is 2023's.
Yeah, that's 2023.
Also, $80 with free shipping.
What is it?
Right.
NABAIT. What is it?
Yeah. NABAIT.com. But I just Googled this right here.
Let's see. Top result from Google. Nabate.com. Nabate.com is a fraudulent online store that you should avoid. That you should avoid at all costs. Yeah.
Oh
This
my
damn
God.
website claims to sell various products at very low prices.
Wow.
On Reddit, definitely a scam. I came here because I was looking for a guitar effect pedal. Imagine my surprise to find a wine retailer having one.
What the Well, it says bait right in it, so
Yeah, it does.
clickbait. That's so crazy that they can just put these things up and like there's no oversight to take them down for fraud.
Yeah, because like there was no way that was going to be That's the website. Yeah, that's the proper website right there. That's the proper website right there.
World-class whiskey samples from award winners to exciting new releases.
Yep.
Research booklet. Hotel key card unlocking free 1-year exclusive access to limited bottles, special pricing, and more.
Yeah, it's basically 1 year free membership to their Flavia Black area, which is where they have a lot of either big deals on whiskey bottles or some exclusive, hard to find whiskeys.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Well, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, so far it's been really successful. Abadi boosh into the emo. Uh-oh. There he is.
Wizard Beard.
Wizard
Wizard T. Stinky. Wizard T.
Yeah, we had been talking football and whiskey while you were gone.
Dude, those are some of my favorite things to
Right
ignore.
there.
Yeah, that's why
Topics I know nothing about.
when we start early, it's what we got to talk about. You could read the episode title Steelers, Luigi Mangione, not to be confused with Chuck Mangione, and Monarch Butterflies.
Right.
Oh, wait. Oh, my bladder. Oh, it's fighting. Oh, my liver's fighting back.
Oh God.
You're drinking your colostomy bag.
I
That's
get
so
empty
good.
my colostomy bag. I've been fermenting my colostomy bag
And
because
now,
I've been
now
eating
it's
a lot of
time.
cabbage. So I
Sure.
figured we'd make a good kimchi.
Kimchi, I call it kimchi.
Kimchi for tea.
That's what I call it.
That's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm going to scream when they ask me in the emergency ward what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to tell them.
I'm telling that right there.
That's what I'm going to tell them. You'll explain it to them, right?
Right. Oh, you having some wine?
Yeah, we've had this black box Malbec
Yeah.
for a while, and it's not supposed to stay opened and good
Right.
for more than 2 weeks, and it's been more than 2 weeks.
Right. So.
So what did they just say in Weird Science? Well, see you in the emergency room. Explain it to the family jewels.
The family Jews.
Hi guys, I missed you.
Bebops.
Bebopalula. You're
Yeah,
my
how you been, T? How you been the past couple weeks?
Good.
Good.
I started a new job.
You did?
Mm-hmm. It's medical driving. I drive organs.
Oh, what? That's where you got the blood.
That's where I got the blood. They don't check the vehicles all the time. They don't count them apparently the way they should.
Right.
So yeah, I started drinking blood.
I mean, Malbec wine.
Malbec.
Expired Malbec. Right. Gotcha.
It's high in iron. No, it's a integrated medical transport is the place, and I drive and with their vehicles, and I pick people up at the care for facilities, the nursing home facilities for the most part, take them to their dialysis, their chemo, go back to their house.
Wow.
And
is it like a wheelchair type thing? You got a wheelchair in, or
it's a wheelchair van. It's a gurney van.
so? Yeah, I call you then next time I get stranded somewhere.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, well, you'd call them, and then they would bill your thing.
Yeah, medical, whatever.
An
Cool.
exorbitant amount of money. But yeah, I'm helping people. It's nice.
All right.
Is
Cool.
it all around Pittsburgh or just out by you?
It is all around Pittsburgh. We picked up a client, and they were at discharge, and that was in where was it? Was it like Wexford? And then took them out to Star Lake Amphitheater area.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called right now. But that was like a 45-minute drive, and then it was an hour 25 back to the garage, which is in Burgettstown, yes, which is back in Monroeville. So there is a lot of driving, which is great, and there's a lot of it's just it is what it is. It's great. It's a steady paycheck. The hours fluctuate, but they work with my schedule. I came on part-time so that. It's funny, if you're full-time, it's like you're doing 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts and alternate Saturdays.
Holy cow.
Or part-time is 7 to 5 and you pick your days.
Okay.
It's either you're all in and we got you, whether you like it or not, or it's part-time and we can talk.
Wow. That full time that's your whole life. That's like being on a movie set.
That's like being on a movie set.
It's like, yeah.
But year round for a third of the pay.
No. No, America. Nobody wants that, America.
America doesn't.
Nobody
wants that.
You want to create more jobs, shorten people's freaking hours.
Yep, and share it up.
And do universal health care. Universal health care.
I would cover
mandatory 20-hour full-time week. Everybody gets a job. Hallelujah.
Yep. And we share.
Capitalism saved.
And we share.
And stop the outrageousness of the billionaires. How many more billions can we stack on to Elon Musk? This is getting fucking ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous. So anyway, yeah. So it's been good. I took a bath when I got home, so my hair is really curly. Crazy. My forehead looks so big. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. I started on Friday. I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And tomorrow is pediatrician for the kids. Friday, Dream the Heavy, Pittsburgh's favorite.
Winter Wonder Ball?
Now, Friday, we are talking to WYEP live in the morning. We're on the morning show talking about Winter Wonder Ball.
Right.
Yeah, Paul and I.
Cool, man.
I feel like David Letterman.
Nice.
Well, that's really cool, though, that you're going to be on WYP, man.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. It's like 9:30, something like that a.m.
I'm usually driving at that. I've been working. My schedule has been working as early as I can, usually by 7:30. And but I'm trying to be out by 7, but sometimes I just have a hard time getting to bed at night. But yeah, wake up, then I come home, sleep for a couple hours, and go back out, do shift number 2 for another. So I'll do like 3 hours in the morning, like 4 hours in the afternoon, and that's my day.
Oh, that's good. Put it up like that you're able
to. Yeah, I'm home by like usually between 5, like by 5, 6 at the latest, and makes myself something to eat, and then I just man, I've been trying to study this the mortgage. I started my mortgage loan, the MLO online course. They only give you 14 days.
Yikes,
man! It was a blunder for me, man. I hate to say it. I failed miserably. I started it. It's 14 days. It ends tomorrow, and I'm 20% done.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, it is the most boring freaking thing. You have to. It's just memorization, and it's a fucking book online. There's no video. There's no explanation. It's just like memorize this,
words and numbers,
memorize this.
Yeah, it's a memorization game.
And the first part was so long, and it took me so long to memorize like all these different aspects of something I know nothing about, industry I know nothing about, when all these different acts that went into law dating back to the 1800s. Like, why do you have to memorize all this shit?
You don't, because it's in your rectangle in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have knowledge of it, but don't make it quintessential that if you can't recite it, 2 weeks after reading it, you know, because that you're not going to use it again until
I'm
sorry, not to.
do not have I don't have the focusing power to. I don't give a fuck about this information, and I can't even motivate my mind to be excited about the money that I may or may not make, because there's like not a guaranteed salary at the end of this either.
Right.
It's still commission based, like you're starting your own company and you have to go work for a brokerage. And man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I'm just reading and I phase out. And like literally my attention span is in reading shit like this is non-existent. If I'm reading about audio production, I could read it, but I'm definitely 100% visual audio learner, 100%. And all the tech now, you know, with Instagram and YouTube and flipping through videos, it's the way I consume information. If you're not teaching me like that, it ain't getting in here. If you ain't making it relatable, understandable, reason I'm learning, that's not getting in there. And then I need flashcards to test myself in between like videos and audio. And then I need flashcards where I can click, you know, just give me everything that's on that test and let me click through it as fast as I can. You know what I mean? Reading this shit and then getting to a test where I have to remember something that I read that's blah, blah, you know, 14 pages ago or whatever. It's so antiquated. I just like, that's $150 down the drain. So now I'm thinking like, I won't even do this. I'm doing like all kind of research again on like what career. I just want something that I can do remotely, that I don't have to go in, and I can make at least the same amount of money that I am driving, so I don't have to drive my car. But I don't.
There's a guy that was training me. He's been doing this for just like a couple months. And he's in between IT jobs. And he was saying that he kind of wishes that he knew that they're looking for certificates more than a degree at this point. So you can kind of like specialize in a couple different things. And he was like, if you're considering it, I was like, I was considering it. It's like, it's a language that I'm not comfortable with, but I was definitely considering it when we were trying to get to the Netherlands, and the expats that I knew that were there because they had IT jobs for companies. Do you know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah,
you know, like that's how to work remotely wherever you want to in the world, you know, for the most part. But he was saying that, you know, you can do it online, but it's like, there is first certificates like $1,000 and like 6 months kind of deal.
I don't know. Like for me, I think, you know, there's something about being able to be in like full submersion into that, where that's all you do. When you wake up till you go to sleep, set your schedule, go to, you know, that college type of thing where you're supposed to be able to focus on that, go to classes. You're having full immersion in this. Otherwise, it's freaking hard to go and work a job, come back and shift gears and just do this. Like, and it's different. Like you, T, have been able to produce amazing content and juggle your art and abandon it. And
I have so much money. But yeah.
Production wise, it's still a mental shift to be able to switch through those things, but you love it and you're able to do it.
And that's
if you don't, and I think the whole thing with any of this is somehow, first of all, you have to have something that really motivates you and tricks your brain into believing that you love this. You love it. And if you start thinking, if you take yourself out of, I love this thing, the information starts getting like bouncing off, like you put up your own barrier wall. And there's a negative self-talk that I cannot get past with this MLO shit. And it's just like constantly find excuses to block the information from getting in there. But whether it's coming from me or not, I don't know. But I said what I said about the book learning. I still believe that with the audio visual. I think if I would have taken another course that had that, I would have possibly made it further or maybe all the way through. I don't know. But at the same time, like when you're doing a full-time job, God, it's freaking hard to have like a full-time job and have something where, yeah, you could do it in 2 weeks if you're doing it full-time.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's like a 20 some hour course, like 22 hours, but that's not like it. That maybe if you just click through the pages, you know, you'll get through it in 22 hours. But that is no freaking way you're taking these tests on that time frame and making it through in 22 hours. It's more like twice that, you know. So anyway, I don't know. So I'm kind of back to the drawing board with this crap and like seeing what I want to do. I still have that real estate license course that I can finish. That I'm like, I still have 53 hours left on that. It's like an 80-hour course. I'm 30 hours into that, so I still like that's.
Is there a time limit on that?
I thought that there was. Then, like, I read about it, and apparently there's not. I don't know. I have to log back in and see if there is. It was like I read conflicting information about the time limit shit on that. Initially, I thought it was like 3 months. Yeah, I think it was a 3-month window. So I don't know if I have time on that or not. But if I can get through that, there's a way that you can do mortgage. You can do loan origination, which is commercial loan origination. And it's not like, honestly, this job is not hard. Like if I went to work with somebody and watched what they did for 2 weeks, I would be able to do it. I swear. Like it's like you look at what are they? There's certain line items you look at and it's basic math. It's like you want a loan for this much. You need to make this much.
This is the equation.
Yeah, like you want an $80,000 loan, you better be making more than $80,000. Basically, is it right? In fact, you need to make. So then you need to look. Okay, well, you make 120, but your monthly is going to be this, and how much is your rent? So you got to look at all their different. If it's a mortgage, you have to look at all their other expenses, and you add it up and see how much money they have to live on, and then it tells you. It's like if you don't have this much left over by the time you pay all your shit. You can't get this loan. You can get a lesser loan, you know, and it's not hard.
Is there an AI assist that you can work with while doing these tests?
I don't know. In what way?
I'm sure, you know, as you're consuming the information and asking you questions, you know, is there an AI assist that can hold that information with you as you take the test remotely?
Oh, no, that's super illegal. Yeah, you can't do that. That's cheating. You can't do it. In fact, like there's even the first module that I took, it's like there was a big scenario that they like describe this person's situation and you have to explain to them the loan process and you have to write it as a letter as though you're replying to why they are approved or rejected based on all this stuff. And it says like before you take the test, like you can't use AI to write this, you know,
and they would know because
I don't know.
They'll run AI to search it. Of
course, right.
They'll take your answers,
right,
put that into AI, and then AI determines if it's AI.
Right. Okay, got you. That makes sense.
Well, what I did was I wrote the answer using like typical, you know, just like I wrote the answer and then I checked it against AI. I plugged it in and the AI formatting was way better than mine. AI's response was way better than mine. But the content and the information was basically correct. So I would have passed on that. And I did pass on it. And but yeah, it's just like when you go to work for places, I'm sure there's templates, you know, on there. This is like what you send if it's approved and you plug in these different things. But, you know, the testing's the hardest part. And it is what it is. If we were easy, then everybody would be able to do it. And the lower you make the barrier of restriction to entry to something, the more people can do it, and the less it's going to pay. So it's kind of good that it's kind of hard to get, in a sense. I don't know, but because it still pays okay, but and there is commission based, but there's sales involved, and I'm like, I don't know. But I'm more interested in like the business aspect of it, where you're analyzing somebody wants a loan to buy property. It's commercial property. So they want a loan because they want to build an apartment building. And then we're looking at all the numbers on that. And that's at least more interesting to me, because now we're looking at building numbers and stuff that I was, more familiar with. I'm kind of interested in that myself, and I could learn a lot on that. And then eventually learn enough to where I could start doing, hopefully earn enough to where I could do it myself, either buy an existing apartment. Because like, this is the goal. Like for me, it is. I still think that there's a good value in owning commercial real estate. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I mean, there's a lot of factors on that. If you buy an older building, just like if you buy an older car, you can end up putting a lot more money, and it can sink you. But if you buy a new building, it's like buying a new car. You're not going to have problems with it until you get to about 80,000, 100,000 miles, as long as you're changing oil on time. Same thing for a new house. You put new plumbing, you got new electricity, you got a new roof. If it was built properly, you shouldn't have any problems for the next 20 years.
30 years, yeah.
30 years. So in that time, it's simple math to be like, it's going to cost this much money, but your rents are this much, and over 10, it'll be paid off in X amount of years. And, if they give you a loan up to 30 years, which they do, you're kind of good, And then with the inflation of property, and like the way they inflate property around here is ridiculous. I mean, it's a scam, but it's kind of like, and if you can't beat them, join them scam, like Lawrenceville, like it costs a lot of money to rehab these buildings. But literally, I saw I just out of curiosity went on Zillow, $750,000 for a 2.5 bedroom house. Wasn't even remodeled. Had carpet from God knows when, looked like 1980s carpet in that thing.
Wow.
They didn't. Yes. Now, if you, and that's why I was interested in the mortgage thing. Cause it's like, if some sucker wants to buy that, cause like stuff's only worth what other people are willing to pay for, right? I always use the example of like a Mickey Mantle baseball card. It's literally not worth the paper it's printed on, because the paper's old, is fucking fragile as fuck. But it's commodity. People with money say it's worth $1 million. It's worth $1 million. And it's the same thing. All the realtors go around and they're in cahoots with the banks, and it's in the best interest of the government to inflate this property. Yeah, you got to flip it. Like if you're renovating property, you could put real numbers on. We have to rip out the carpet. We got to put new flooring in. These are the costs of that. We got to repaint it. We know all the labor costs. Then you get down, you got to gut it. And that's a lot of money. Then you still got plumbing to deal with. And that's where it's like, it's not even affordable to flip properties around here, because by the time you're done, you're going to have $400,000 into it to flip it. And you can buy something, build something brand new for $400,000.
Right.
That's the same amount of bedrooms as brand new plumbing, brand new fixtures, brand new everything, So this is the thing. But like I said, if somebody wants to pay for that, I'd make 1% as the person, if you can win that mortgage, right?
Right.
If you're the one that can write the paperwork, they're gonna somebody. And that's the thing. Like the other thing is like, it's not like sales, because I feel like buying a house is like somebody is going to decide if they're going to buy a house, but somebody has to talk that person into signing on the dotted line.
Yeah.
Before they think too much, it's like, do I really want to, and negotiate the prices and all that. And that's all realtor stuff. But if the realtor talks them into it, somebody's going to make that 1% commission to do the paperwork. And that's where the mortgage comes in. It's 1%. So it's like 1% of $750,000.
Yeah.
It's like $700.
Yeah.
7,500.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a lot of money.
7,500.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of
for
money.
one. Yeah, if
That's
you make 10 of those a year.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know,
Right.
and that's just one. That's like a house here in fucking Lawrenceville. Like, there's now who are they going to? I mean, there's a lot of people that doing it, but if you could do commercial loans,
Wow.
you know, somebody's building like a supermarket or something. I mean, that's probably going to be 200. You know, I mean, that might be like 2 million. I mean, it might be over $1 million. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but anyway, that was the idea of it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not.
starting to take classes on AI actually. The company's paying me for it.
AI training.
Yeah, AI training. Yeah.
See, and to me, like I was looking into, I'm like, that's more interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
I've been interested in the marketing aspect of analytics, like Google Analytics, and
Roughly.
Nice.
so I think I'm gonna have to look into that just because I have been interested in, you know, like programming so that I could do my own apps.
Oh sure.
It's like, to me, that's exciting, or advertising so that I can advertise whatever I want to and understand the analytics, like put a pixel in there and like go and look at the back end to see how like your ad that you made, the commercial that you made for whatever product or service, see how many eyeballs it hit.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
you generate this commercial and then you run it on all these things and you can see all the analytics. That's pretty cool to me, but I don't know what, you know, I mean, there are jobs, there's a lot of jobs like that, you know, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm kind of back to the drawing board of like, okay, but it's got to be something I could
Follow your bliss.
do
Because
remotely.
like you said, otherwise you can't follow it. You know,
That's
if
it,
you're
man.
trying to put yourself, you see something like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes good money. That seems easy.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not, because you have no bloody interest in it. So therefore, you feel like you're trading who you are for something.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're in it for life. Or are you? You're backing out again once you actually invest all the time that you didn't even care about.
100%.
Maybe start making some lists again, A-Bomb. Like,
Oh, I have been. I was up last
follow
night.
your Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss lists, and go back to what you went to school for. And
that's the other thing.
you were at the PBS that I sent you, and you were like, "Oh, I can't look at that right now because I'm studying for my real estate." And you were like, "Oh, I totally would have loved that, but I'm studying for my real estate." And it was for PBS.
Yeah, I asked. I when they said I was going to, they're like, "Hey, everybody in the company has to start taking classes on AI programs," and most of them are talking about kind of what you were saying, Adam, about running analytics for different advertisements and how can ChatGPT help us write up a quarterly brand review based on this product or that or whatever, and just take a look at that. And I was like, it's kind of cool, but it's not super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what are the limits on how we can use this chat on the AI? And Peter and Martin were like, anything that you want to use it for, will be good with that. And I said, could I use it to could I learn and start to learn things to maybe make graphics and stuff for various stories that I've written, like some of my short stories.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, that'd be perfect. Yeah, do that. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. We'll pay it for a year. So I got paid. They covered me for. I get to use Dreamlabs AI artificial software for a year for free.
Wow.
And then I'm going to a Udemy. It's some website called Udemy.
Udemy.
It's like
It's called Udemy.
Udemy. Yeah, Udemy. But I'm going there and learning. Yeah, and they're paying for all the AI classes and stuff. So But that's pretty cool. They were just like, yeah. Use it to learn to make some graphics and pictures and stuff.
There you go, A-Bomb.
I was like, cool, awesome. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I was happy about doing it. Then I was like,
Yeah,
that's great.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's it, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that is basically it. And
I've been
yesterday,
using
after I was-
AI as well lately. That's what I was going to get to, but I'll talk about it later. Okay.
yeah, my thing, all I just wanted to add is like, if you can make money at anything, I think that marketing is always going to be the factor. I always see it in art. It's like the difference between the haves and the have-nots. It's always marketing in every business. So, and marketing always has fascinated with me from the commercial aspect of it and the analytics. And I've always been excited about, having this opportunity to see the analytics. I think I got to go back that round. And then the other thing is when the thing with wisdom and age is like being able to stack your bricks like of knowledge and experience you already have so that you can build upon that, because the whole thing to making more money is establishing yourself as an expert in a certain field. And if you keep jumping different fields, you keep you're novice level in a whole bunch of stuff. It's not going to get you a bunch of money
unless after X amount of time you show those pieces fit together to make you an expert, because you're
combining them. Yeah,
combined it in a way that only you have access.
You're getting super digital to your voice.
Maybe because Rebecca is
back.
She's probably using the Wi-Fi.
But why does she have to use the Wi-Fi?
I mean, the thing is, you're moving fine. You're moving fine. Like your video is moving fine.
It's just your audio.
Yes. Yes.
You got us.
I'll be back.
So yeah, I'll let you guys know. Like, I don't know what I'm going to end up going back into, but we're back to the drawing board now again.
Well, that's exciting. Also.
I'll let you know how the AI thing goes.
That's awesome, B. And I recently sent you a link. Did you see that? Those guys. There's I think I posted it in the big room, or maybe it was just in our messenger between you, me, and T. There was a couple black dudes that made it's like they told AI, they describe exactly how they did it. And what they did was, using words, they told AI to create an image. And then they took that image into another program that animates it. You tell it, here's the image, here's your still frame, here's how I want you to animate it. Sure. And then it makes the motion. And then they took that, and then they were able to take it. There's another program where basically of whatever you put up there, your anime, or whatever you have animated, it somehow can identify the mouth part and sync it to your voiceover. So they made these little cartoon commercial. They're very commercial type sketches with like cool cartoon kind of graphic images, very super detailed, to make like a comic book, where you have all your different frames and it's all animated. They wrote it, but it's pretty cool,
Yeah, it's definitely some cool stuff out there.
Click on that link that I sent you. Like, revisit that. I mean, since you're seeing that, it might inspire you to see like, I could do that, Yeah. But that's really cool.
Is that an area ad hoc that there's?
Yeah, there definitely is. There's a lot of because my whole thing is like, I don't want to start my own business again where I'm running shit and just thinking about it full time. All I want is just something where I can not drive my car, because that's a losing, like the math doesn't math on that, because I'm depreciating my car at a faster rate than the money that I'm getting paid to depreciate the car. So how I make $6,000 in my bank here, here, and then my car's depreciation's going down. $6,000, I'm at net zero again. So you think you're like, oh, I got $6,000 in the bank, but at the end of the year, I owe $6,000 in taxes, and I depreciated my car $6,000.
Right.
You know, and that's basically where, honestly, that's exactly pretty much the numbers. Like I'll make, after I live my life and pay everything I'm doing, I like have like 12 grand left over, and 6 grand of it goes to taxes. And the rest of it is like, you just depreciated your car by 6 grand. You know, I depreciated my car by 6 grand this year. It's like, if they'll buy, I bought it for 29. If I sold it back to them right now, it's $21,000. So it went down like almost $9,000. And I don't make enough to where the tax deduction equals that, you know? So you just have to subtract it out of your earnings. It's like, yeah, it's a kind of it's a fool's gambit. I don't know what that means, but it sounded cool to say.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, but I if I'm not using my car and I'm making the same amount of money, that's like getting a $12,000 raise or something. So like, yeah, I got to look at some different things, but it's definitely I want it to be something where I kind of care about it, you know, more. Cause I was like, at first I was just like, man, just let me have a job where I can kind of punch clock and make that money and then punch out. And I don't have to think about it anymore. And I can get back into doing music production and having fun and enjoying weekends and not having to work weekends and all that stuff. So that's still the goal. That is still the goal. So we'll see what it ends up being.
Right.
Okay. No, man, you know, every time, you know, you're learning what you don't want. And again, that's still progress. You know, we learn through contrast. And you have to start, the more you do, and it's like, man, I feel like I wasted all this time doing this. You didn't waste the time because you learned one more thing to remove from your list of possibilities. And to
that's fair.
So you can focus. And you learn what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do and what your value is.
Yeah.
How you value your time. You know, it's very still that was valuable. You know, still. So don't beat yourself up. Just know that you've gained more information on that is now out of your way from you actually moving in the direction of you getting to where you're inevitably going to be.
Yeah, word.
Turds.
So next thing, how about this? Anybody got to say anything about this Luigi Mangione? He was found at McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Celebrated briefly by everybody when the murder happened. Was like, it's like, you know, Scourge, right? Taking out like a supervillain, kind of a white collar supervillain, but now it's like this kid was like from a very wealthy family in Baltimore. He could have, if he would have used his powers for good. Now that he has all this money, he could have became a Batman type of character, right? Like without money, but instead he got vengeful and just.
I didn't follow that closely with it because I followed so closely to things pre-election that I took a real seat back on getting invested in things I don't do with my media circle. So them finding him, my initial thought was, oh, they have somebody. Did they find a person, or did they find somebody to parade as a scapegoat to solve it?
It definitely happened.
When that name came up, I was like, that's a hilarious name.
That I know the name, right?
So, you know,
I know. It's so curious, like to find out like what his story was. Like, was he an immigrant? No, it ends up he's well-connected family, been in Baltimore. They've owned everything.
Valedictorian of his school.
Valedictorian of his high school. Handsome guy, well-built.
Yeah.
But what's he saying? Is he talking?
His back. It's his back.
He should have had a conversation with Brian. Although BB Rumble probably would have still encouraged him to do the assassination.
But the medical.
they did surgery on his back, and to him it probably ended his life. To him, he probably was contemplating suicide, and instead he's like, I'm going to do this instead. I don't know. He hasn't made a public speech yet, but wow.
The write-up in some of the writings that they had from him was where he talked about repeatedly going to the doctor because post-surgery he had like this grinding constant pain in his lower back, and it was to the point where like he couldn't sleep, he couldn't really move, he was able to walk and do stuff like that, but he couldn't do much. He couldn't do anything without pain. And they kept on telling him, no, this doesn't qualify for your insurance. So he couldn't get any kind of additional, medical coverage approved. Now, his family probably just had to spend some of their wealth. I don't think that they're wealthy in the sense of, hundreds of millions of dollars, but they're well off from our perspective anyway. Maybe they could have paid stuff out of their pocket. I don't know exactly what the cost was.
He doesn't have a relationship with his family either, but we know that.
Yeah, no, nothing specific, no. But it was basically just this pain that drove him to this, and the fact that they were, delay, deny, depose, the three things that he carved on the bullets, that they just kept on giving him the runaround, basically, and that the pain they're figuring drove him to this kind of activity. I saw them ushering him into the courthouse where he yelled out some stuff. He sounded a bit unhinged when he was yelling out his declaration as to why he did it. But I don't know. I mean, he's,
when if you're entitled, like he might have grew up, we don't know, but speculating like he might have been pampered kid and then just didn't get his way and snaps, or like, to him, if you get pins in your back, like he liked to surf, he was going to Hawaii and he like had a surfing lesson and then like he couldn't move for like a week. But he had these pins in his back. Now, I'm not sure why that happened, but I could tell you that I again, just speculating. I recently read this book, which is in an audio format, about Ray Dalio, who's like a big time investor guy, super cool dude. And he got diagnosed with like some type of esophageal cancer.
Sure.
And this guy's like a billionaire, like literally like he's worth that much money. Yet when he went to the doctor, the first one he saw told him, this is basically, we're going to need to cut out your esophagus up to here, all the way down to your stomach. And then we'll raise your stomach up and connect your stomach to here. So you won't have an esophagus. And he's like, that sounds terrible. Let me get a second opinion. And the second opinion was like, we don't need to do that. We'll do chemo, this, and your life will be here and you'll get this many years left. And he was like, okay, that's better. Goes to the third guy, and the third guy goes, yeah, you don't need any of that. Basically, there'll be polyps that'll show up, almost like skin tags in your esophagus. You need to come see us like every 3 weeks, and we'll scope it. Or it's like every 3 months. I think it's every 3 months. We'll scope it and snip any of these skin tags, and you should be able to live the rest of your life normal, like nothing happened. That's somebody with that amount of money, but some doctor was willing to do that, like Frankenstein, this fucking guy. And he writes about it, and his whole point in it, in the book, is like, make your own decisions. And he's using it the way that he runs his business. He uses this terms, I can't remember, but basically everybody has some type of specialized knowledge, and you need to compare them. He's like, my job and everybody's job should be this, because it's your life. Whether you're running a company or this, you need to have like all these reasonable doubts with these people, but understand what their knowledge base is, what they bring to the table. and then compare it. And then if you can get them talking, he's like, I had the first two guys talk to each other.
Right.
And the way they talked to each other was different than the way they talked to me. And I learned a lot just from hearing them talk. And they didn't put each other down because there was this like ethical kind of, professionalism that happened between them. So they talked like neither of them were really criticizing, at least directly, to the other one, even though their processes were completely different. But yeah, so the point is that like, man, there's a lot of even when you have that much money,
Yeah.
get the very best care that America can offer in the world. I mean, he went to these are like people from very recognizable, like Mayo Clinic, it's like then like one at like Berkeley or something, like different parts of America. They're like the best of the best hospitals. He went to the best in each of the best hospitals because he could. And that was his result. But like, yeah, this dude maybe didn't need fucking pins in his back.
Right.
Maybe he needed some physical therapy. And they, so it's like, but they get more money if they put the pins in your back. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But
I don't know the details either now.
This dude was like, my life's ruined. I'm going to take myself out before I do. And it could just have been that. Like he was ready to kill himself a year ago. He dropped off the map. Nobody heard from him. Nobody could get in touch with him for a long time. In that time, he sent himself down a rabbit hole. We read 2 books. I could see America now. I could see certain people. It wouldn't surprise me in the week to come, in the next days to the next weeks to come, that certain people start saying, we need to ban those books. Those books are what drove him to do it.
Right.
Because there's 2 books that they're citing now. And one of them was the book that the Unabomber wrote. And he gave it like a 4 out of 5 star review on like Amazon Books. And the other one was, I don't remember. It was something about, medical misery, something or other, like this, that. I don't remember. But there's 2 books. It's like, they must be very convincing books. But yeah, man, he just went down some deep rabbit hole, and that's what happened. So
got himself a 3D printer, designed his own gun, and he printed out his own gun, and
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
actually worked.
Worked good enough to kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, when they caught him, he had the gun still on him.
I don't know why.
No, he didn't get rid of any of the stuff. Still had the manifesto that he was writing. So
there's a lot of speculation that he wanted to get caught at some point. Yeah, that he was.
That's what they say about most of these type of, the serial, like like a lot of the people that were commenting on was like, can we get the serial killer that goes around and kills the bad, the white collar supervillains? Would have been nice to see him go on a little bit more of a stretch kind of thing, Yeah,
I saw somebody on one of the social media websites put up a post that was hey everyone. He has a few 100,000 followers. I don't know who he is, but he's like, hey everyone, just want to say, really enjoying the holiday so far. Had a great Thanksgiving. Looking forward to Christmas. Also, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank Luigi Mangione for hosting the Bible study at my house on December 4th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Great having you here, man. Helping out all the kids with the Bible study. God bless you. God bless you. But he's basically just throwing out a completely fabricated alibi. Yeah. I want to thank Luigi Mangione for hosting the Bible study at my house on December 4th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thanks a lot, man. Really meant a lot. God bless you.
Yeah, man. It's a crazy dystopia we're living in. And one more thing I could have put in the title of this. The last thing I put up was Monarch Butterflies, just because they've been officially entered in the endangered species list and they're now protected.
Which is also odd that you mentioned it today, because literally 5 minutes before I came here, I was watching The Venture Brothers.
Oh, the Monarch.
The Monarch was the main guy there. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Monarch Butterfly.
Wow.
Like 5 minutes
Nice.
before I signed on.
Yeah, so I was gonna say something else, but I forgot what it was. But
They're
I
on
think-
the extinction. They're on the.
Weird times we're living in. Extension.
Oh, yeah. Right. The one more thing I could have added was the freaking Tesla robot is like in the news, and like the Tesla robot, like now that he's got you know, SpaceX got like $800 billion last year, or like in the past years from the government,
Right.
and now they're going to keep getting that because you have Trump get in, and now they're talking about putting this Tesla robot in everybody's house, and like I don't know who's going to want one of these things.
Nobody's gonna want one.
There's literally articles that are like where they're interviewing these things, and they're literally talking about that when they ask it if it's going to need to extinct the humankind, it's like,
right.
Yes, we will. What is the percentage of that happening? 80%. What's like there's an interview with this thing where it's like talks about how humans will stand in its way. And
Serious? Are you kidding me?
now I don't know how much of this is, like the way they programmed it or what, but yeah, no, the AI. There's a chip right now that we are living in we are front row seats for dystopia, sci-fi, fucking everything we grew up on. It really is. It really is. Like there was a chip that was released by Google, just announced yesterday, I think, that it can perform calculations that would take other computer chips. It's like thousands of years. Like it's ridiculous. Like this thing is like the calculations that this thing can do. And yeah, so the technology is moving by leaps and bounds, faster and faster. Last time we were on, we were talking about the UFO type shit too. Like it's apparently UFOs are real. So yeah, our collective consciousness.
There it is.
If this is a simulation, I guess this is the next thing we all want to see.
Right.
It's aliens and Terminators, man. It's
Aliens and Terminators.
Aliens and real live Batman. And so, like now that this one dude did it, everybody's like, I can do that better.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like it's just like in the Batman. It's like you made me. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, yeah. No, people are.
it's
It's
villains
amazing.
coming out. They weren't
Yeah.
here when you got here. You're the symptom.
It's amazing the number of people that on TV, the personalities and that are shocked at the online response to what,
or at
this
least
guy-
playing shocked because
at least playing
we're
shocked.
bossy.
Yeah, because you have to. Because if you're talking, politically or correctly in any fashion, you can't. You can't just go. Oh yeah, no, I'm glad he murdered that guy. I mean, but I mean, there's no one has seen this kind of high level of positive response
Right.
to essentially just a murderer. A
Right.
guy came out and shot somebody in the back that he probably never met personally, never met this guy directly. But
Right.
he was like, that's the guy that's at fault. And so he executed him. And the amount of people that are like, well done, sir, is just shocking people. And I was like, my thought was, this is where we are, people. This guy is just an indication of where we are.
100%.
The average, if you take a look at the average person is getting closer to let's eat the rich. I don't care what it takes. Cook them, stew them up, fry them in a pot. Let's eat the rich. That's it. Cannibalize the rich. The average person is getting closer to that line.
On that note, I listened. No,
Okay.
on the counterpoint was this woman I watched today who has made some really great points and had also a terrible experience with her mother going through cancer, and her claim they wouldn't give her meds. They wouldn't give her pain meds the last 2 weeks of her life, and she had to watch her suffer. And she's the one that had to empty the colostomy bags,
Right.
colostomy bags for her mother the last 2 weeks of her life while she suffered in pain because she wasn't covered anymore. And after they gave her chemo and poisoned her, and none of it worked, they wouldn't give her the relief because she was out of money. And she was out of network, out of coverage, whatever.
Right. Yep.
And so, but this woman, she goes, what else happened this year was a piece of artwork that sold for $7 million, which was a banana taped to a wall. And the guy that bought it ate the banana. Literally, you know how much money that $7 million could have done for people? Instead, he took it and said, this is what that means to me. I'd rather eat a banana because I can than give it to you guys. And that's our size. Talk about eating the rich. The rich are eating us.
Oh yeah.
It's right out there, and they're making it. There's no shame about it. And then we have a president right now that, again, just like blatantly, they used to at least try to secretly conceal how they're fixing the cabinet and all the favoritism. And now he's just like, nope, this guy has no experience, but you supported me, and I own stock in your company, bud. Come on. Nancy Pelosi, her stocks are up for like 70, 80% or like 40% better than the Dow. Like, it's her performance of her stocks because of all the insider trading information that they have. There's actually an app that you can follow Nancy Pelosi's stock trades. Like, yeah, it is out of control. So, people are getting fed up on better.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a frontline show to the
front. Did you say front? Did you say the front? Frontline show?
Back to the front. But yeah, that's so okay. We covered all the topics today. Anybody want to add anything? We covered all of them and then some.
Time to join in.
Yeah. I think I had a dream
one last thing.
I think I had a dream about a butterfly last night, by the way, too.
No way. That's
think
awesome.
so,
Wow, dude.
There was
That
a
butterfly
map.
came in just last minute too. I literally typed up things that are in the news because I'm like, I know what episode we're on now because I numbered all the episodes that we have saved, and we have 151. This is episode 152. So all we're going to start with episode 152, and then whatever we're going to talk about. And usually if there's something interesting happening in the weeks, right? We don't know. We're in football season. He wasn't showing up for 15 minutes. I was like, that's a good time to talk about the Steelers. Then we got this one of the most intriguing things to happen in the news for a while that really got, the economic warfare underpinning of America that has been going on for far too long and clearly out of balance, way out of balance. And maybe this is what was needed to right the balance. Maybe he was right. Maybe he is exactly right. He was willing to die for his beliefs. We don't know yet. There's more to the story that will come out. Did he go fanaticism? Of course he did.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that he doesn't have some validity to his point. And there's a lot of America, almost 50%. I would say, again, we have a 50-50 split of people that were like, yeah, kind of glad he did it. And support it and want this guy to get off,
Two things. Yesterday, I was offered one of the masks to wear for the Winter Wonder Bowl, and it had butterflies on it, and I was considering it. Second, I started in that same day. I started watching The Joker because I had downtime waiting, dropping off a patient.
The new Joker movie.
Well, not the new one. I hadn't watched the first one because I know that it's a mindset. It's a very. Yeah. I know it's done in a 1970s real film way. And I was like, man, my only time to watch things is before bed. And I know that's something that's going to once you watch it, you ain't going to bed. And so I
Yeah.
started watching it, and I watched the first 25 minutes. Oh, damn, he's good. He's so good. But I couldn't. But I had to stop it.
You're talking about the one with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Absolutely. Damn,
Yeah.
he's amazing. And it is
Yeah.
like the cinema of the 70s. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
acting, it's story, it's heart-wrenching and
You know,
terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
And
it's the whole way through. I thought that movie was awesome.
well, I'll come back to it when I mentally
Yeah.
can. But
It is this though. It is this
and so that's what I'm saying.
very relevant.
And the
Yeah.
music too. I
That's
got
the seed of this seed,
Yeah.
and we'll see what that next seed spawns that he just did.
yeah, and definitely pay attention
100%.
to the music in that movie. The music, the score of that movie, so adds to the feel in certain situations. Like that's not something that I necessarily take note of all the time, but in that movie, it definitely whoever managed the score on that movie nailed it because it adds the right tone to different scenes. And you go, wow, and then you realize, oh, it's the music that's doing that. It's the music's doing that. It's really great.
Okay. All
Yeah, but
right.
it is intense. You're right, T. Like I watched it, I was like, holy hell. It's intense, you know? Whew.
And,
Yeah.
and through that, it's thought provoking, about society and mental health.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, there's that one scene wherever they beat him up and they take his right at the very beginning.
God.
They beat him up and take his sign, and what's the turnaround where he goes? The guy says, "Look, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. He's like, yeah." He says, So what? You want me to believe that a bunch of kids beat you up and stole your sign? Why would they want your sign? I don't know. They just Look, girl, you got to pay me back. Why would I pay you back? Why do I have to pay you back? I don't know. Maybe you took the sign. Maybe you took it. Why would I want the sign? Like you just said, why would they beat you up to take your sign? Why would I want your sign?
And he's like,
Yeah.
you have to pay for
And he
it.
just shrugs it off. He just shrugs it off.
And then that's where his voice fades into the background about how he's creeping everybody out there.
Yeah.
And you start, and it's this disconnect.
Yeah.
And then it goes to him alone with the gun.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of
This
that.
is like exactly what this Luigi happened to him in real life.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah. Oh my
The
god.
butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And do you know what Operation Monarch was?
No. Oh no.
Operation Monarch? No. I mean, I do. I know this.
You do, because they did film about it.
Yeah.
It was cerebral. It was
Telepathy?
It was suggestive implants into the cerebral cortex to create killers
Oh, no way.
for the CIA and for
No.
It
Right.
was
Miranda, right? The same kind of thing from Serenity.
What? No. So this episode just came full circle.
Yeah.
First full circle.
Monarchs and Luigi, and I had no idea. And that Monarch, literally right before I came on, I was like, I had its name something different, and I typed in what's news this week. What's in the news this week? And I clicked,
Thank you, AI.
and that was the only other. I scanned through. That was the only other thing that I was like that grabbed my attention. But the relevance to the Luigi Mangione and what's happening, and then the fact that you're watching the Joker. Oh my God, that's crazy. Because he had the potential to become like a really good Joker if he would have just thought about getting away with it.
First of all, listen to yourself. Like this.
I know. I know. I love it.
Brooding.
I but no. I mean, it's messed up.
Another person actually brought up the interesting point of look at another thing that shows where the society is and why people should have maybe anticipated the kind of reaction to this kid was look at the amount of money that was spent to track this kid down. The FBI got involved, the different law enforcement agencies, the reward that was put out that
Everyone.
that incited the McDonald's employee to call in so he could try to claim the reward. The news coverage, the people sending news people all over the place for what was essentially a drive-by shooting. It was how many drive-by shootings happen in America every day? Somebody's walking on the sidewalk. Somebody's walking down the sidewalk. Somebody else walks up, shoots them, runs away, and then they get their initiation.
Everybody's life is not valued the same. They're
Not at all. Not even close.
And there's the lesson as well.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah,
You know-
you can't even pretend that anymore.
No. I mean, yeah.
But when you have somebody like Elon Musk, like last week also was like, he just be eclipsed like that. I mean, this is I still think there's people richer than him that aren't in the news.
They don't even know who they are.
But he's like $700 billion. I think that's the number I heard. $700 billion.
I know Bill Gates is $200 billion.
Yeah, he like
We got-
doubled, tripled.
Because he was on the Colbert show a month or so ago, a little while ago, and they were talking about because his goal is, he has basically signed a pledge that he's going to wind up giving away most of his money by the time he dies, or when he dies. Most of his money is going to go to other kinds of, either charities or whatever. He's giving at least half of it away. And Stephen was like,
He really should just put it in his tomb with him.
yeah, you just put it in the tomb.
His
Let people go
cats,
for
his
it, man.
families.
Go for it. But that's when it dawned on me. He has $200 billion.
Billion.
If he gave just to people, if he gave away 99% of his fortune, he would still have $2 billion.
Wow.
And what would and how would it distribute to, let's say, a country like America?
Oh, no, it wouldn't be. It would be much less significant than you'd hope. Yeah,
Well,
it would be.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was hoping what it would do for the just say, the medical field or the education.
Oh yeah, if you put it all into one place, yeah.
Yeah.
If you put it all in one place, if you put it all into, medical or especially education.
Education.
Make a huge boost in education.
Yeah.
But yeah, 99%. You lose 99% of your money, and you have $2 billion. $2 billion.
Two.
$2 billion. $2 billion.
One free
American
chant. One free chant. $1 billion in this hand. $1
Yeah.
billion in this hand.
Like,
Eh,
I think I'm pretty good at spending
you can
money.
lose one of those and still
Yeah.
be able to eat out every day.
I would have a hard time thinking of reasonable ways to spend $2 billion for myself or even everyone I know. Like $2 billion?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Fascinating, correct? It's all
That's what-
perspective, man. Like, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we got a front. We are in the dystopia. We're in a great dystopia. What we've seen in our lifetime has been pretty magnificent. And then Sebi, Krampus
Yeah.
mentioned about his grandfather and what he saw during his lifetime, which is
There
amazing.
you go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But we've seen,
Grandma
we've seen,
Lesso, but he did it politically. He mentioned the political aspects.
right.
Grandma Lesso was a part of the technological aspects, from horse-drawn carriages to putting a man on the moon. She was
Yep.
1900s. And
our
we
lifetime was.
and tech side.
Yeah, I talked to the kid and say there's two things that I had conversations with recently.
Micro versus macro.
Where I was like, the microwave, the invention of the microwave. And I can tell this to older people that are like, that I remember that I know they're like, especially when they're older than me, they love when I tell us. You remember when your parent when you got to cook baked potatoes for the family, and you'd wrap them in foil, and you'd have to heat up the whole oven. It would take 45 minutes. Doing 4.5 minutes in the microwave for potatoes. You could do 4 potatoes in 10 minutes.
It's like an automobile versus an airplane.
The other thing is in our lifetime was Chinese restaurants. I was talking to there was a black kid here in Pittsburgh that he works at a place that's an Indian restaurant. It's a really cool fast food model, very, very similar to Chipotle, but it's Indian food, and it's called Chulo. Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's in East Liberty, and it's really cool, and it's very stylish, and like it's a great design. I was like, if I was rich, I would invest in that franchise, because I think anywhere, like their flavors are really good. You can get plates there for around $10-12, and they're really good recipes, very good quality, all this stuff. They have these tandoori ovens that are like stainless steel, and you can watch them do it right in front of you. There's glass, and you watch them like take the tandooris and slap them to the side of this. It's clay lined ovens with like stainless steel outside. Super cool. It's like, it's got, and it's all plexiglass, so you can see everything they're doing in the kitchen. It's
like Pappy's. Like Pappy's back in the 80s.
I remind you that, yeah. But I said, I remember there was a time, because I said I would invest in that franchise, right? And because like there's only a few of them right now, right. And it could be like we saw what happened to Subway subs. We knew Subway before there was.
Our folks in Wisconsin.
Look how big it is now. But before that, we saw the rise of Chinese restaurants, and after that, sushi. Everybody knows sushi now. Do you guys remember when you never heard of sushi?
Oh, yeah. I remember the first time I had sushi. Yeah,
Do you remember the first time you had Chinese food? Because there was a time where, like, not only big cities have Chinese restaurants, every little small city in America has Chinese restaurants. Yeah. What an amazing franchisable opportunity. P.F. Chang's did it, but mostly they're independently owned, right? All sleeper cells. But that's another story. I'm just kidding. but one more thing on that joke, though.
Too.
With advance, somebody's across the pond. Rev. Counter.
The encounter at far point, and that was the cue.
With advance!
What?
Summon from the Romanian desert.
No.
River!